What's up, guys? For part 3 of this build-off between Brad Angove and I've got a really unique finish I'm going to do on this today. It's called a paint dump, and I've seen this on YouTube for a while, and I've tested it out a bunch of times, mix a bunch of different colors, dump it on, and sort of get it to look like a swirl. I haven't had the best success doing it, but I think it looks better than when I did my swirls. What I'm doing is I'm taking a little bit of folk art paint, acrylic paints, Floetrol, and mixing it into a cup, dumping it in and dumping it out. I did that with the back already. You can see that in the video here. I think I had a little bit too much water. I did a 50-50 mix and then added about a quarter ounce of water, and I think that was too much. I think it made the yellow sort of run into the blue, and it turned into like a greenish color, which is not what I was going for, which is why I did the back first, because I could course correct moving forward. So I am pulling white out of this mix and just going with colors since I already have a prime top, even though it's a little messy. Some of it looks awesome. The headstock, the back of the neck looks pretty good. The body looks pretty good. Just a couple spots I wasn't really happy with. So if we pull out the white, well, what kind of look are we going to get? I'm not 100% sure. So what we're going to do is get a cup, dump the paints in. I already mixed these. Like I said, it was 50-50 Floetrol and the paint. Then add a little bit more silicone than I did last time. I'm going to dump these in. Trying to avoid the blue and the yellow to mix to make green. So we'll dump the yellow next. And we'll do orange. Run out of fingers here. Finally blue. Covered up all the holes with some paper towels. And this already looks a lot different than when I mixed it the first time. Use my thumb. Also used a little bit less paint than last time. Pretty simple. All you do is dump it on, and since I've got so much space to cover, I'm going to kind of pour it and move it around. Already it looks way different. Paints did not mix at all. And we'll just start spreading this around. So what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to get some cells to develop. It's definitely not as runny as before because it's taking a little bit to get the paint everywhere. Thought I had too much paint, now I don't have enough. So since this isn't covering everything, we're going to get a little toothpick and just spread some of it out. Probably should have added a little bit of water. Which is weird because I had a little bit more Floetrol than last time. Just doesn't want to flow. It's cool, like I just wipe off some of the runs on the back side. It's coming, just slowly. Tempted to take some heat to it. Not doing it. So we'll take this and drag it down. Oh, my dust doesn't want to do it. A little paper, a little paintbrush. We'll get it to cover up whatever spots did not do it. It's not flowing. I think the color scheme looks a lot better this time, but I'm getting a lack of flow. So we're just taking the paintbrush, trying to pull down some of the paint. Just have to move some of the paint around. Got most everything covered. What's neat about this paint is as it dries out, all these lumps just sort of disappear. I don't think I had enough silicone in here. So then you're supposed to take the lighter and try and torch the paint in a couple spots, and you should get some cells to develop from the silicone. So I'm just using the paintbrush to sort of draw some lines. Get it to look a little bit more consistent. And then we'll let it just sort of hang. Again, we'll wipe up the sides. Now what's cool is we'll let this sit, and we can always put another coat on the back and make sure that it comes through on the front and clean that up. I mean, it's similar, but not really. I do like sort of when I drag the lines, it's looking pretty good. A couple spots it's not moving. Probably what I'll do is I'll recoat the back, let it bring around to the front, same colors, and add a little bit of water. You can see the sag right there. It just doesn't want to come down. Alright, so that's where we stand after the front. Back looks pretty good. Let this dry and see what happens. Alright, so for the back side, we're going to redo it again. I've got one more shot at this. I wanted it to be a little bit more color versus sort of the mixed color. I went back and I did 3 ounces of Floetrol, 3 ounces of paint, and then 1 ounce of water across the brown, yellow, blue, and orange. And we're going to mix these in here. And I can tell it's just slightly more runny. That water just breaks it up just enough. So we're going to try and avoid green again. And I'm hoping this is it. If not, I might have to paint puppies and spacemen on my guitar to beat Brad. Alright, so here's the blue. If you caught Brad's end of his video, he dug into me about my looks. He didn't want to beat me in the modeling contest either. It's all good. Alright, so we're mixed. Got all the colors in here. And I've got about 10 drops of silicone. Before I had about 3 or 4. I'm hoping this is it. If not, we're going to be playing Shot Down in Flames by AC/DC. See, on a small scale, it looked okay. It's the big scale. And I'm okay if this drips down to the front. I just don't want to smear it. And I've got to do the headstock too. I'll probably just do the headstock separately in a different video or by itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it, and then I'm just going to fast forward so you guys can see how this looks. I don't really want to sort of talk and edit. It's a huge pain. So we'll pour. Let's not do it again. In one of the mixed media channels, I saw a guy come back with a sort of scraper and do this. It's not doing it, so we'll come back and pull some of this paint down. I like the color better, for sure. Oh. Alright, so here's the guitar in all of its glory. It's dry. If this was me without doing it in the competition with Brad, I would definitely redo the front to look like the back more. That lighter mix swirled a little better. I could probably hand sand it, but that's going to be way too much time to do, and I'm pretty happy with it. I think these swirls are just cool. So this came out pretty well. It's a little bit lumpy in the back for them, that second coat. So I'm still gonna let this dry for about another week, and then I'm gonna figure out what to put on it as a coating. It's still a little soft. I can feel it in a couple spots. I still have to do the headstock. I played around after that last edit and just dabbed the paint on, and it doesn't look right. I also pulled off the tape here. You can see that tape pulled off nicely, but pretty cool. So you guys will get to vote on this and see who did the better job. I do like Brad's artistic side of the space concept. That's very artsy, much more so than mine. I think this is literally dumping paint and moving around. You guys can get this relatively easily. I think I probably will try Brad's technique on one of my next guitars, because I thought that was a really cool way of doing it. So this is the SG. Part 3 is complete. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.